Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if this is the first time you're joining us here. Normally we are doing yoga, but today we're doing something different. We're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, girly chat, just kind of like talk about things, talk about questions that you've asked, mental health, exercise, obviously a bit of yoga, diet, food, all of that kind of stuff. So get yourself a cup of tea and we'll get answering on the questions. Okay, so I've actually taken you, as you can see, into my bedroom today. I just ate my dinner, came up, put a tracksuit on. This is my new tracksuit with my butterflies on. It says head in the clouds, which is absolutely so suitable for me. And yeah, I just thought I would do a quick Q&A video before I jumped in the shower. So I screenshotted all your questions from Instagram, and I suppose we can just start away with the first question. Okay. What would you do? Okay, we're in for a good one to start with. What would you do if your friend would be friends with your ex behind your back? Okay, so I think this is a tough one because really the real issue for me here is that it's behind your back. I am a really honest, upfront person, and if I want to go and do something, I wouldn't do it behind someone's back or kind of be sneaky or shady about it. I find that kind of trait in people really frustrating because things are much easier to deal with when you're just told the truth. When things are when you're kind of left in the dark or you're being lied to, that's when there's a fundamental issue. So if I were you, I would confront the situation and be like, I know this is going on. I know you're still talking to him or seeing him behind my back. Why weren't you just honest and upfront about it? Because potentially if they were honest with you, you'd be able to process that. You'd be able to understand why it is they want to be friends with your ex still. You know, I've been in a really similar situation where I went out with someone that was in my friendship group, and all my best friends are still to this day close with that person, and the whole way through they were honest, upfront about it. I knew what the situation was, and although it was tricky at times, that was the best way it could have been dealt with, and now it's not even an issue. So I would say confront it and ask why, so that you can understand and you can move on from the situation. I hope that helps. Next question. Have you ever had to overcome a heartbreak? How do you rebuild self-confidence after you've had your heart broken? Oh, it's such a rough one, isn't it? The only piece of advice I can really give for that is, number one, a broken heart always heals over time. It's just how you choose to mend it back up. So you want to really think about why it's broken your heart, what you can do to kind of move on, help yourself in the future, how you can feel secure within yourself again, and know that actually any kind of breakups are truly, truly meant to be. If you're not meant to be with that person, no matter how painful it is, it's better off that you're not together, because eventually destiny, I would like to think, brings you to the right person, and people can be married and then divorced and then meet the right person, and there's so many complexities to the situation. But I think the main point is that the heart heals with time, and we just have to be kind to ourselves, understand ourselves a little bit more, not beat ourselves up about it, and try to remember that the breakup is not because there's anything wrong with you. the breakup is because you guys, for whatever reason, do not work together, and you know, the sooner that you work that out, the better. So give yourself time and you will heal. Okay. Did you enjoy studying at uni? I definitely enjoyed parts of my degree. I think it was really liberating at the start to go off to uni where, you know, you don't have your parents watching your every move, and not that they did that anyway, but you don't have your parents kind of like guiding you. You're on your own for the first time. You can kind of start to be independent and fend for yourself. And I find that kind of element really fun in the beginning at uni. I didn't initially love my degree, like the actual studying. I think my favourite year was in third year when I did a placement in business psychology at UCL. That was like my best year, just working one-on-one with a business psychologist, and yeah, it was just fantastic. I think I learned more in that year than I actually learned in my whole degree, and I remember more from that year than anything else. But yeah, I enjoyed parts, and other parts were challenging, but I'm glad I stuck it out, and I'm glad I now have my degree. Next question. Do you keep a balanced diet? How many times a day do you eat? Like every 5 minutes? No, I'm kidding. I would say I keep a relatively balanced diet. I'm sure I'm going to answer like other questions that are coming up. I'll just talk about food now. I try my best to eat pescatarian, but sometimes I do waver away from it on the odd occasion. If I'm out eating at a restaurant and I just fancy trying something, or if I'm just really, really craving. I haven't eaten red meat in a really, really long time, and I don't think I would ever go back to eating red meat. I try to eat I do eat 3 meals a day. In the morning, I have my Huel shake, which is a meal replacement shake. So it's not a protein shake. It actually has all the carbohydrates, calories, nutrients, etc. that one would need to have at the beginning of their day. So I'm not starving myself in any way by doing that. I'm actually probably gaining more than I would do from like a normal meal. And then for lunch, I try to eat something veggie with a bit of carbohydrate. So whether it's like a sweet potato and some veg, or I have to be honest with you, I'm really lazy at cooking for myself. And I'm hoping that if I move out, I will get better at making myself food. So it's normally quite basic. And then for dinner, I would eat something like a piece of fish and some rice and veg, or a stir fry or a curry. Tonight I actually had pasta takeaway. So yeah, I try to eat as balanced as I can, and I definitely do not hold back from having any sweet saturated sugars. Like I love an ice cream or a piece of chocolate, a bar of chocolate. Yeah, like I like to eat yummy things as well. I'm really not restrictive in any way with my eating. Okay, next question. What do you do outside social media? Is there anything you might not know of? So outside of social media, I'm obviously a yoga teacher. I teach mainly privately. Actually, at the moment, I'm only teaching privately to one-on-ones or small groups. Another job you may not know is that I also work part-time for my parents. they have a reading glasses business, and I do all their creative stuff. So I take all their product photography, and yeah, I love that. Do you know what? Working for them is how I've actually learned so much about apps like Photoshop and Lightroom, because I had to just like learn on the spot real quick how to edit all their photos and make them ready to go out onto Amazon or onto their store. So that's a job you might not know that I have. Next question. Best yoga mat for grip. Four yoga mat brands that I love. Number 1, definitely Yogi Bear. Number 2, Lifeform. 3, Fantai. And 4, Yoga Line. I'm going to have to link those all down in the description, aren't I? Because you're going to ask. So I'll do that for you. How do you deal with not drinking around friends and on nights out, etc.? Yeah, at the beginning this was really, really tough, especially in the British culture. Like, drinking is a staple thing that we do to socialise and, yeah, to kind of like go out with other people. It's like, do you want to go get a drink? Do you want to go to the pub? So it kind of all circles around drinking. So it was really difficult at the beginning, and I think now that my friends know what I'm like, and I've stayed very true and unwavering to the fact that I don't drink and I'm not interested in drinking, maybe on the odd occasion, but because they know me and they know why I do it and what I'm like, they leave me to it, and they know like I'm comfortable with them getting as drunk as they want, and I'll do my own thing. And yeah, it just works quite well now. So I think with the not drinking thing, you just have to be honest as to, like, I don't want to drink. I don't drink. There's nothing more to it. You don't even have to explain yourself. Like, that's just what it is. And if you stay true to that within yourself, then people will just know. So-and-so doesn't drink. Let's not force her into doing so. I've got this really weird thing at the moment. I don't know what it is, but like my front teeth are really sensitive. And when I like talk, it makes them go really weird, and I like overly salivate. Fit, I know. Do you practice yoga on your period? There's actually 2 of those questions right here. Yes, I practice yoga whenever I want to practice yoga. So I don't let the fact I'm on my period stop me from doing yoga. Maybe some days when I'm not feeling as up to it or as strong, I definitely feel weaker when I'm on my period. I do a more of a gentle practice, and I kind of just stretch it out, and yeah. I always say to people, do what makes you feel comfortable. If you feel like you can do yoga and it's actually going to help you relax a bit more or alleviate a little bit of pain, then do it. Go for it. It's completely personal. Which is your favourite country to travel to? I think I would probably have to say Mallorca, because my grandparents had a place there when I was growing up, so I used to go all the time. Like, it was my first ever holiday. I kind of grew up every summer being there, and when I go to Mallorca, it feels like a second home for me. It doesn't feel like that kind of weird feeling of seeing a new place. I get very unsettled when I go away because I'm very much a home girl. I feel very grounded and safe when I'm at home, whereas when I go away, I get a little bit about it. So I definitely think it has to be Mallorca because it's like my second home. Okay, next question. Someone has asked, what are the CBD products I recommended in my post? Okay, let me go get them. They're literally over here. BRB. Okay. Oh God, I nearly dropped that. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really weird. Like, I like keeping everything in the boxes and like the packaging they came in. So the brand is called Medterra, and I've tried a few CBD products before, and I think this definitely has to be my favourite because I'll start with the tincture. The tincture is like the drops. Let me show ya. Can you see that? There you go. So this is the 3,000 milligram strength of the tincture, which is the strongest strength you can get. It, as I said on my Instagram story, it has basically no taste, which I really like because I sometimes find that CBD can taste really planty and strong, and I find that kind of off-putting, whereas this product literally tastes of nothing. It just has like an oily taste. It's in a coconut oil, which basically means it just has a slight coconutty taste. And this has really helped me. I love CBD. I think it's an incredible invention. All the CBD products actually are derived from hemp that's grown in the US and tested, and there's no pesticides. It's non-GMO. It's not genetically modified. Like, it's basically a 10 out of 10 product. Then I also got the Manuka cream from them, which, as I said, I've been using on dry spots on my body because I tend to get really dry patches, and I found this has really helped to soothe that dry skin, which is amazing. And I really like the texture of this, and it smells nice. It's a really nice, just like light texture, and it just goes on really nicely. Oh, I love this. So this is the CBD Manuka cream, 250 milligrams. Very good product. And then finally, they also send me these CBD Keep Calm gummies. I mean, anything that's a gummy I like because it's like a sweet, but they're honestly amazing. That's what they look like. They look like little squares of gummy. And they've got 25 milligrams of CBD per gummy, so they're quite like light. And they're just really good if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed or stressed, or you're feeling like maybe a headache or achy or whatever it is. Just take a little gummy. It's fantastic. Really is. Very, very good. Very impressed with these products. And do you know what I also love about Medterra? I love their values as a brand. Like, they just want to help other people, care for people's health, bring CBD products safely to the market in a really kind of clean way where it makes people feel safe and comfortable, and most importantly, they want to make the products affordable, so they're just like everyday people can take advantage of using CBD. So that's a huge plus of Medterra. Now I feel like I've been going on about it for ages, but I genuinely really love their products. So if you are looking to try any CBD products, I would go to Medterra. Okay, that's enough about CBD now. Now I've done my CBD, covered my CBD. We can move on to the next question. Classic, my camera battery died. But here we go. Oh, that's funny, because the next question is, did you have any tips mental health related? And actually, CBD is amazing at calming anxiety and just keeping the nervous system and cortisol levels a little bit lower and a little bit more chilled. Other tips I have for mental health is, don't be afraid to talk to someone. Go and seek help. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. I think the biggest kind of mistake I'd say I made is not speaking more openly about it, because at the time it just was more of a taboo subject and people didn't speak as openly about it as they do now. So now that there is this platform and there's more of an opportunity to talk, just talk to people about it. And also, don't lose hope for yourself, because although you may be feeling crappy today, that doesn't mean that you're going to feel crappy tomorrow or the next day. I think when we're in these dark spaces, we have a tendency to look at the future with such a dark, unhopeful lens, when actually time keeps moving and things keep flowing by. And the best message I kind of kept telling myself when I was in dark places was, life is so transient. Like, moment to moment, as I'm speaking now, life is moving on from one moment to the next. And that's amazing that time keeps moving on and the world keeps shifting and changing, because that means that although you may be feeling crap now, in the next minute or hour or day, things can change, and you have that choice and you have that opportunity to make a change. So choose it. Which leads me on to also saying my last tip for mental health is, the biggest help I could give anyone is to say you have to take responsibility and you have to want to help yourself. As much as a friend or a family member may be able to help you, or a therapist, they're not going to save you. The only person that can save you is you. And you have to take responsibility for that and say, do you know what, Jen, today is the day I'm making a change and things are going to be better. Because if you don't do that and you just rely on your appointment with your therapist or this product or a CBD product or whatever it is, things won't change. If you use all these things around you, like products, maybe medication if you need it, therapists, family, friends, to actually aid you, that's when you're going to do the best. Not to rely on it to make you better, because the only thing that's going to make you better is you. That's my pep talk for this evening. Let's do a few more questions and then I think we shall get in the shower, because I probably am a bit smelly. Okay. Do you want kids? What about wedding plans? Well, that's an intense one, and I'm sure my boyfriend's probably not going to watch this, because why would he? He knows all this stuff about me anyway. If he is watching, awkward. I definitely want kids. Definitely want kids if I'm blessed enough to have them. I would love to have 2 or 3 little babies. I'd love to have as many kids as the universe gives me, that I'm allowed to mold and shape into the human beings they want to be. And if I'm given that opportunity to do so, then amazing. Wedding plans, well, I'm not yet engaged, so I don't have any wedding plans, but who knows? I still feel very young to be talking about that. I'm only 24. Like, we don't get married that young in London. So I've got time on my hands, I think. Did you ever feel nervous, judged about making your yoga page or your YouTube channel? And someone else asked, how did your friends react to you starting your yoga journey publicly on IG and YouTube? Good questions. So at the beginning, I did find it a little bit awkward and a little bit scary starting to kind of share my yoga journey on Instagram. That's where it started. It felt a little bit frightening and a little bit like I was kind of putting out my passion and my vulnerabilities for anyone to see, be it a friend, be it an acquaintance, anyone I knew. And all I could think about at the time was, oh, they're probably judging what I'm doing. And then as time went on, I realised, who cares if they judge? Like, maybe they're not judging. Maybe they are being inspired. Maybe I'm actually helping people. And instead of looking at it in this really negative way, I started to think, number one, if they are judging, I don't give a shit. And number two, if I manage to help, I mean, everyone says this, but honestly, if I manage to inspire or help one person achieve a goal or do a teacher training or do anything that they normally wouldn't do if they hadn't seen a post or a story or whatever it was, then like my job is done. If I've added value to you in any way, shape or form, be it in these videos, answering questions, giving tutorials, doing the yoga classes, then I feel fulfilled. And that's genuinely what I feel like my purpose is here on this planet. So that's job done for me. And so to answer the question, my close friends were great. They always support me in anything I do, and I love that we kind of have that relationship with each other. And two, if people did judge, which I'm sure they did at some point, probably still do, when I'm like posting a half naked photo and people are probably like, who is this chick? I don't care. I just don't care anymore. Like, it doesn't bother me. So if that's you and you're wanting to start some kind of vlog or YouTube or Instagram page because you want to help add value or you want to inspire other people, don't let the opinions and judgments of others stop you from doing that. I think that's really important, because if we kind of live by fear and other people's judgments, we just wouldn't do anything. We do jack shit. So you can't live your life like that. Last question, and then I'm gonna jump in the shower. I think I said that like 3 questions ago. Last question. Do you select the brands you work with based on their sustainability, clothing, skincare, etc.? And there's actually another question similar to that here that says, do you pay attention if your yoga clothes are ethical? I definitely pay attention, and I definitely am way more aware of the impact of fast fashion and unsustainable clothing and kind of plastic use and all of that kind of stuff. I'm way more aware of that than I ever have been in my life, and I genuinely try to do the best I possibly can. I used to really be terrible at overly shopping for things that I would then just like, oh, I don't want this anymore. And I'm so much more aware of that now. I really try not to buy anything that I know that I'm not going to wear loads and loads of times over. And I'm doing this massive clean out of my cupboards and my drawers to just start anew, start afresh, and stop buying so many products that are not good for the planet, because we need this planet. We need to love the planet. Our kids and our grandkids and etc. need to live on this planet, and it does so freaking much for us, and we just need to treat it with a little bit more respect. So I'm all for sustainability. I really do believe in it, and I think I can do better. I think everyone can do better. I'm taking it every day, step by step, changing things. We no longer use plastic bottles in this house. Everything is reusable. I'm making changes every day, and it's very hard when you're in some element of spotlight with people watching to make the right decision all the time. But just know that I am trying my very best with regards to sustainability and looking after the planet. So I think that's a good note to end on. I will drop the links to the yoga mats that I suggested, and also I will drop some links to the CBD products that I've been using and that I really like, the Medterra website, so you can check it out if you're interested. And I will see you back here on YouTube or on Insta, wherever it is, very soon. I love you all, and have a very nice rest of your day. I'm gonna go enjoy my shower, get into bed, and put on a film. Mwah.